no review of Leave the World Behind. Well, I have a surprise in store for you guys today. That is exactly what we're going to be discussing today. For the first topic is I am going to be doing a live review for you guys right now for Leave the World Behind that debuted on Netflix not this past Friday, but Friday before last or Thursday. That is December the 8th. And so if you have not seen that film, it is on Netflix. If you have the subscription, go ahead and check it out. At the very least, I think it is worth your while to review. But this was something that I was looking forward to. Why? Because it has a fantastic cast. It has Mahershala Ali, Julia Roberts, Ethan Hawke, Kevin Bacon, this young sister right here by the name of Mahala. Her character was named Ruth, and a number of other people that I'm not familiar with. She was one of my favorites in this. One of the reasons why I was looking forward to this film is because Mahershala Ali, when I was looking for things to cover on my channel, he was the first thing that I noticed. And I had the opportunity to reach out to Netflix to try to see the film early. But to be honest with you, your boy was just very busy and was not able to get to it, unfortunately. But it has been trending all over the internet, all over the world, all over the social media platforms. Everybody's talking about it. Some people liked it, some people hated it, some people are in the middle, in between. And so since the film came out over a week ago, we can discuss slight spoilers if you guys want to. But you don't have to just spoil everything. This is very unconventional, the way I am doing this right now. I'm trying to pull this up right now on Rotten Tomatoes just to kind of give you the opinion of what majority of the people thought about the film. But for some reason, my internet is going slow, or Rotten Tomatoes just does not want to work that well. But this is what it's scoring at right now. The critics found it at a 75%, and the audience gave it a 34%. The reason why I feel the audience gave it a 34 and the critics gave it a 75 is I don't think the audience pretty much enjoyed the ending, or the lack thereof. They did not. And of course, I'm going to let you guys know how I feel about that as well. Now, this is being directed by Mr. Sam Esmail. I've never heard of him before, but if we scroll down and look at his filmography, these are some of the films that this gentleman has been responsible for. A TV series by the name of Mr. Robot, another TV series called Homecoming, and a short film, Mr. Robot Virtual Reality Experience. I've never heard of any of these right here. So this gentleman is fresh and new for me. But of course, this is what he looks like, and he is behind the directing. And I'm going to be talking about that directing. Now, this is a drama mystery thriller. A family's getaway to a luxurious rental home takes an ominous turn when a cyber attack knocks out their devices and two strangers appear at their door. Now, right off the bat, and especially after you see the trailer, that right there is something that's going to draw me in and keep my interest. And one of the first things about this film that I really did like, not even like loved about it, is it kept my interest all the way from the very beginning all the way to the very end. It opens up with two large actors by the name of Julia Roberts and Ethan Hawke while they are in their lovely home. And we're getting to know them. And what's interesting to me about their relationship is who is wearing the pants and who is wearing the skirt. Now, that may seem a little weird to some people. It really doesn't matter as long as whatever relationship you're in, you're happy. So if they're happy and that's the plan that they wanted to put forth and that was part of their vows, more power to them. But it was just something about their dynamic to where I was just scratching my head the whole time. Like, what is really going on here? What is the arrangement? What is the agreement? How long has y'all's relationship blossomed? What is going on? I really want to know. And I just said that this film kept my interest, and it does just from the plot synopsis and the story alone, because I just said it was a cyber attack. But besides that, it is the characters themselves and their relationship and how they get along. When you are getting to know Miss Julia Roberts here and Ethan Hawke, her name is Amanda, his name is Clay. I just could not stop thinking about, like, why is she always taking the lead? Why is she always at the forefront? Of course, you always want to respect a woman's opinion. Okay, you always want to hear what she has to say and value it, especially if you guys love each other. But it seemed like she was driving the car, driving the bus, like she was always in charge. And like I said, it is what it is. If that's what you want out of your relationship, that's fine. But it's just something that I'm not in. It's not, I don't say interest. Well, no, it's not anything that I'm interested in. And so they seem like they got along great. And that's just another thing that caught my attention. But stepping away from the characters, the best thing I thought about the film was the music, the score. There was constantly an eerie, daunting music, nails scratching on a chalkboard that would make your skin crawl in a good way. It was very, very hard to relax because when that eerie music came through, it lets you know that something was baking in the oven, that something was cooking in the kitchen, that something was around the corner. And if you turn away for just a second, you just may miss it. And that is something that I like, especially when I'm at home. I'm relaxed. Okay. I don't want to be all tensed up in the theater if I don't have to do that. But being in your own environment, watching this at home, streaming it, being able to pause, you really didn't really want to. And unfortunately, my viewing experience, I had to watch this in two different times. I started it this past Friday and finished it Saturday, just because I had some things to do. But that eerie noise, that eerie music was really grinding my gears in a good way and had me at the edge of my seat. And not only that, that had me at the edge of my seat, on top of the music that I really did like that kept my attention, it was the camera work, what the camera was doing. And I have to give all credit to the director, Mr. Sam Ismail. He was very, very creative with the way he would set up certain shots and the way it will pan around a certain room or an environment or over a character's head when they're either receiving some type of information, trying to hear a distant noise out in the background, or communicating in a certain way. Two scenes stood out to me more than others is when we had our boy Mr. GH, played by Mahershala Ali. Every time he was thinking about something, because you knew he had some information up his sleeve for the duration that he did not really want to reveal to others, he was trying not to, he was trying to put on his poker face and really just wasn't having a good job of doing that. So the camera would just be right in front of him for a number of seconds, at least 25 to 30. But then that eerie music would come around. Somebody would ask the question, and it was like a light bulb would go off, or a number of exclamation points or question marks would pop over his head. And the frame, the camera, it wouldn't break shot. It would just pan up and spin around his head. And the film kept doing that over and over and over again. And I was like, damn, why is it doing that? Okay, what is this mystery going on? Like, what are you trying to tell us? What are you trying to reveal? What are you trying to keep secret? And that's just something that really, really did appeal to me. And I don't necessarily always want things to be spelled out for me or spoon fed to me when I'm watching the film. I want to be confused sometime. I want to be concerned. I want a puzzle that I have to figure out. And that's exactly what this film was, because it was told in five different portions, five different chapters. I believe the first was the house, the second one was the curb, the third one was the noise. And of course, each of these chapters, you had your subtitles and it will pop up on the screen in red. And usually that's something that I'm not fond of. Another thing that I don't like in movies is opening credits if it does not serve a purpose to help tell the story. But they did both of those very, very well in this film, with the chapters and also the title reveal at the very, very beginning. Because as you're getting to know this family and these characters, I mean, look at this is beautiful. I think anybody would want to live in something like this if they had the choice. But then the camera would just break away with that eerie music revealing the title at the very, very beginning. It was pretty scary. And this is not a horror film. It's a drama, not a, well, you can say, yeah, drama, mystery, thriller, that type of thing. But they did a great job with that. I really, 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 I did enjoy it. And let's, oh, 1 second here. But all of the characters was great. They're all confused, and just the premise of the movie is pretty much the end of the world, and they don't know what's going on. Sometimes when you have these type of stories, the characters don't know what's going on, but the audience does, and that can warrant you talking and screaming at the screen like, "Oh my gosh, it's right around the corner! Do this, do that! Look at your phone!" But you just don't know. This is a nightmare. We are so attached to all of our devices, our phones. We take them everywhere we go, upstairs, downstairs. We have them charging when we fall right next to our head when we're asleep, right next to us in the bed, when we go to the gym, when we're checking the mailbox, when we're using the bathroom, whether we're sitting down, standing up, brushing our teeth, or we're in the shower, we take these everywhere. I mean, it's just ridiculous. I mean, they are convenient, but it is also a nuisance. So imagine a world where all of that is taken away and you have no way of communicating with anybody. We would freaking lose our minds. Now, I am a part of the millennial group, okay? And so I was alive once upon a time when these were not around. But can you imagine like Gen Z or anybody else that is below me? They were probably their heads would probably freaking explode. And that's kind of what's going on in this film. We have one character by the name of Rose. She's the youngest in the bunch, and she is just losing her freaking mind because she can't even, watch one of her shows and see what the outcome is. She's about to have a nervous breakdown. We also have a young boy by the name of Archie. He's going through puberty, somewhat perverted. I mean, I don't mind, brief glances when you're looking at the opposite sex and you are turned on. I mean, that's just freaking normal, but you can't be using your phone and sneaking pictures and stuff like that. That's where you cross the line. But there was really not a character in this film that I did not enjoy. And then look at this scene right here. It goes back to what I was saying about the camera. This is between the wall. You have the white family on the left and the black family on the right. And they don't know who is who. And it just turns out, and you can see this from the trailer, is that Mahershala Ali and his daughter, this is their house, but they was renting it out as an Airbnb and just show up in the middle of the night like, hey, what are you doing? This is our house. We want to come inside because a whole bunch of stuff is going on. There's no way to verify this. Okay. And the Julia Roberts character and her husband Clay, they signed on the dotted line, just like, okay, this is our private spot for this amount of time. And who are you? Can you identify yourself? So not only are you concerned with what's going on in the outside world, you also have this mystery right here between these characters and who they're trying to figure out who everybody is. I say that to say is that this film is a giant mystery in more ways than one, because you're wanting to know what's going on in the whole scope of things outside the environment, in the outside environment, whether it's the world, the country, the coast, but also in this house right here. And it does create a high level of tension that really can make you bite your nails. And they are so far apart. I love this visual representation of the wall or door splitting between them. But then you also have shots like this where they're all coming together, very concerned, very nervous, not knowing what's going on, but trying to come together. And I mean, look at this. This scene right here was with the noise, they're losing their freaking minds. And I don't know what's going on. I'm trying to figure it out. I am as confused as they are. But this is a great film. Look at this. What are they looking at right here? Why are they so puzzled? What's going on? There's not too many characters in this film that have speaking roles. And I will say one thing that I did not like is in trailers, promotions, marketing material. I don't like it when they have an A-list actor in the trailer, but they only have a brief cameo in the film. That's just my cup of tea that I'm not a fan of. And that's with Mr. Kevin Bacon. He plays a character by the name of Danny. He didn't pop up until the very end. I loved everything that he had to offer. It was just too brief, and I wanted a lot more. Here is Archie, and here is what is his name? No, yeah, Archie and Rose. And look, this is about the fourth or fifth picture that I pulled up right here of characters kind of paralyzed in fear, looking at something confused, not what's going on. It just again adds to that mysterious aspect because you want to know, okay, what are they feeling right now? You know, what emotions are they going through? Sometimes you know, sometimes you don't. But this is just really, really entertaining. I really did like this, and you also get to see how characters can react when life is normal, but also when you don't know what's going on. The truth, their true personality will reveal themselves. Julia Roberts' character, Amanda Stanford, she has to know everything. If she doesn't, if there's a question in the air that she cannot answer, she freaks out. And it can be annoying, but at the same time, I kind of understand where she's coming from. Like, why is she reacting that way opposed to her husband? She's always the one that says, "Hey, babe, what is that noise? Can you go check it out? Can you go get a bat? Can you do this? Can you do that?" She's always the one that's leading the way. And that is how her character is reacting to all of this mayhem. And I will say that Clay's character, Ethan Hawke, her husband, he's kind of a puny man, and you kind of realize that at the very beginning of the movie. But at the same time, I have somewhat of respect for his character because when he is in the corner down and out and has no idea what's going on and feels like he's about to lose his child, he is screaming at the top of his lungs, being honest about himself and how he thinks of himself. And it's really humbling. You know, a lot of people can't do that, but he just laid it on the line. I am a useless man. I am no good. And it's like, wow, that's not a good thing to say, but sir, at least you can admit it. Now, as far as the things that I did not like about this film, is I did not feel that it had a great payoff. The film comes in at around 2 hours and 2 hours and 18 minutes. And you are entertained to the fullest, the utmost degree for the first 2 hours and 10 minutes. But that last 8 minutes is really, really disappointing. There is a cliche that goes on in film just saying, hey, at the very end of the film or a television show, there's always somebody coming out in a white coat that explains the whole situation, sums it up in 5 minutes. That can get old at times, but I feel like that was needed here. They left this film open for interpretation. It was very vague, and that's just not anything that I like. Even though I was entertained from the very beginning to the end almost, I felt like I was let down, and it did put a bad taste in my mouth. I was frustrated. I have not had enough time to go back and to see what everybody else thought about the film, or at least the ending, or if there's an ending explained. But I'm not happy with it. They tried to use Mahershala Ali's character GH or Gerald Howard to kind of fill in those gaps, but it wasn't enough for me. It wasn't fulfilling. It was barely enough. Great job, but it just I wanted a lot more. The acting in this film was superb, and the best performance in this movie didn't even come from the main characters. It came from a lady that was on the side of the road speaking Spanish. She was distraught as hell, not knowing what's going on, pleading for help. And I was like, damn, can we give this lady an Oscar? I mean, she only had maybe a minute of dialogue, but she surely did a great job. She sold the show. And so that's just a great thing right there. Overall, great characters, great acting, great set design, great camera work. There was also another scene where GH, Mahershala Ali, he ran up on something, freaked out, passed out, and the camera passed out with him. And he's all discombobulated, and that's exactly what the camera was doing as well. And we see a large object in the sky and seeing him run and hide behind the door, but then what the camera does right after that is just like, you don't get filmmaking like this that often. And so if you want something different that you've never, I mean, we've all seen end of the world movies before, post-apocalyptic type features, but this is done in a completely different way, especially with the camera work and the music. Great film overall. Just the ending, it just was horrible, and so I really didn't enjoy that. And also another thing, there were just too many, I don't want to say too many, but a number of things that were just unanswered. We have this beautiful pool right here. At one point in time, there was a bunch of random flamingos that just popped up in the pool. I don't know what the hell that was about. We also have some deer that was obsessed with Rose's character, trying to communicate with her, but we don't know what that's about as well. I could go down the list, but I did not like those unanswered questions. I wanted them answered. I wanted them addressed. I wanted an explanation, and we just didn't get that. But it was a great film, great cinematography, great everything except for those few things that I just mentioned. And even though I did not like the ending, I still think if you have not seen the film that you should give it a chance because I think you may enjoy yourself. Again, this is just a great camera shot right here. And so if I were to give this rating out of a 1 out of 10, I would give it a 7.5. I if the ending was better, if it was more palatable, I would probably give this movie a 9. But that ending was a real stinker, and I'm really, really disappointed by that. So thank you guys for tuning into my review for Leave the World Behind. Again, that is on Netflix, and I think you guys should check it out. And at this time, I kind of want to see how you guys felt about it. If you agree with me, if you disagree, or if you are somewhere in the middle. Dane C says, just watch Leave the World Behind. Good film. Right on, right on. Okay. I have mixed opinions about Leave the World Behind. Okay. Kyla Kell enjoyed the film. All right, all right. I hated the ending. Yeah, the ending was disappointing. Let's see here. Most didn't see it or didn't like the ending. Right on. I understand the message though. Please share. What do you think the message was? What do you think the message was? They don't like the fact they left so many unanswered questions, the audience score. I can't disagree with that. I don't have Netflix no more. I'm waiting for Stranger Things, but I keep hearing about this movie. Might restart my sub again sooner than later. Layla, I do encourage it. It's a lot of subliminal messages in the film. Yeah, it really is. It really is. Amanda clearly wore the pants in the relationship. She definitely did. She definitely did. Let's see here. Are people going to remember the movie after 2 weeks? I think so. It came out over a week ago, and we're still talking about it. A number of people have hit me up asking me to talk about it. So let's see if they are still talking about it next Sunday. Let's see here. It's giving Bird Box. Y'all remember that movie on Netflix? I think this is a better film than Bird Box, but that's just me. That's just me. Camera work was pretty good. Yes, that was one of the best things about the film to me. Let's see here. I thought you was gonna say the R&B music had you on the edge of your seat. LOL. That you know what? Daniel say what's funny is I've heard that song ever since I was in what elementary or junior high. I think this is the first time that I actually paid attention to the lyrics. And I was like, I feel a little poke coming through on you. I was like, wait a minute. They've been saying this the whole time. And it was so appropriate to the to what was going on during that scene. I was like, wait a minute, how far are you guys gonna take this? Especially when the other people in the other room and on both relationships. You had oh girl, Ruth asking inappropriate questions to Clay's character, and then Julia Roberts trying to get her little dance. That was horrible, but she didn't care. She was having fun. It was the end of the world. So these relationships and the dynamics between them and all that, it was quite interesting. Quite interesting. Executive producers Baraka, really? You are, I think you know what? I did hear that. You know what? You hold on, let me mm, 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 mm. I gotta look into that. Hold on. Hold on. Wait a minute. Wait a minute. Wait a minute. Wait a minute. What yep, you are right. I heard some people talking about that too. What in the world made them want to produce this? I got to look into that and do some research because that's actually let me see if because on IMDb they have a nice trivia section where they be sometime dropping some jewels. So let me take a quick look there and see if there's any information on the Obamas. Okay. Um, The son Archie wears an Obey t-shirt and Andre the Giant's image. This is an artwork by Shepard Fairey, who is best known for his Barack Obama Hope artwork. Barack and Michelle serve as executive producers on the film. Interesting. Okay, so let's see what these spoilers say real quick. Um, okay, so turn away if you don't want spoilers. Okay, the dead pilot on the beach is wearing a name tag that says, okay, he's the director. When Julia Roberts is in the kitchen demanding to know what GH knows. The painting behind her resembles the moment the red flyers float down from the drone onto the Clay's car. We're trying to figure out both the cause of the piercing noise heard during the movie and the source of Archie's illness. One character mentions a microwave weapon, stating that one was used in Havana, Cuba. I remember that. This is a reference to the so-called Havana Syndrome series. You know what? I'm gonna, you guys can look it up, but I'm gonna check this out in its entirety after the broadcast today. But check out the film, y'all. It's very, very entertaining. It's just except for the ending. I enjoyed Ruth the most. She was conscious and codified. Yes, she was. I feel that GH was too, but GH was trying to not escalate the situation. That's why he was like, Ruth, Ruth, because while they were in their own house and they have every right to everything, you don't know what Amanda and Clay are capable of. They could have been psychopath killers with knives and swords and stuff. So, he wanted to try to keep the peace, but you're not wrong. You're not wrong. You are not wrong. I'm gonna feel like Rose because I bought the DVD of Homicide Life on the Street and I only got 6 seasons. Now I gotta buy the last season. You gotta laugh out of me there. I got you. Okay, Stranger Things. Let's see here. Stephanie gives it an 8. Let's see here. What's up, Papa Shorty? Geechee Dan. I heard the white folks mad at Barack for the line in the movie where the girl says not to trust white folks. I mean, they can be mad. There's a whole hundreds of years of history because of that. But guys, I want to thank you so much for tuning in to my live my live review of Leave the World Behind that is on Netflix right now for you to stream at your convenience. Decent movie. Just didn't like the ending. You guys let me know what you think in the comment section, whether you're watching this via live or in the replay.